6:21 p.m. Citizen FM 93.7. It's still the 25th day of April 2023. So if we're wishing the day, rolled by faster, calm down, it would. At some point, it will end. Tomorrow will come and we go again. Thank you for staying with us. Welcome back from the newsroom. I hope that you are better informed now. It is Super Citizen at Sunset, and I am Didi. I mentioned earlier that I'll be joined by Didi right here on the show. She's here and looking very beautiful. Hi, Didi. How you doing?
Hi, Didi. I'm good.
I like it, Didi. Look at that. The last time we were here, it was the same thing we were doing, right?
We're vibing. I know.
Anyway, it's good to see you again. How was your holiday? Did you enjoy it?
I think it went as fast as it came.
Chai.
So I was like, how far now? This holiday has just ended like that.
Did you get to sleep?
I did 2 days.
Oh wow! You can't complain now. I was here
Sunday and Monday. I got some good sleep. Yeah.
Look at that. You people have flexed it, Jerry. Didi is very passionate and enthusiastic about mental health. She's worked a lot on mental health advocacy, education, support to the vulnerable populations such as children, adolescents, persons with disabilities, and the likes of them. And she supports through a platform called Mental Health with Didi. In fact, it was the first time I saw your face, because what was happening, I think I was surfing through WhatsApp status, and one of my friends, Dorcas, shout out to you, Dorcas, if you're listening. I suppose you are. Yeah, Didi, she was listening. She posted something on her status, a link to an Instagram live event. So I just clicked on it, and it was the first time I was like, oh, okay, cool stuff. It was tagged Mental Health with Didi. Like, yeah, that's it. And I listened that day. So she does provide support through the platform called Mental Health with Didi, and the Vent Lounge with Didi. Mental Health with Didi Foundation has engaged with several stakeholders to provide mental health awareness programs, one of which we'll be talking about today, right? Yeah. That stakeholders meeting that you
press
people
conference.
Had. Press conference. All right. But I'd like to start from here. Very recent, I think it was last year or so, the president of the Association of Psychiatrists in Nigeria, Taiwo Bindu. Yeah, he said that more than 60 million Nigerians are suffering from mental health illnesses, one or the other.
1 in 4.
Yeah, that's what me translates to. It's shocking. And sometimes I don't think I have any mental health issues, but because of the stats, I'm saying, okay, well, let me check. Is there something? Is everything okay at home with me? I just need to do introspect and everything. But how true are those figures?
Okay, so first thing, you need to know that everybody has a mental health.
Oh
yes, so
everybody
has a mental health. So not everybody has a mental health disorder. So the problem is that there's a difference between what mental health is and what mental health disorders are. And mental health is just the same way you have physical health, you have mental health, because you don't have an holistic health if you don't have a good mental health and a good physical health. So a lot of times the mental health aspect is forgotten, and usually because of the stigma around mental health disorders. So people don't even know how to separate between mental health and mental health disorders. So that's where we need to start from. So every one of us have a mental health.
Yeah,
and everyone is a continuum. So it's like a continuum from 0 to 100. The same way we have physical health 0 to 100. You might have malaria today. You get treatment, you swing back to your normal. So everybody swings around that continuum. So when they say 1 in 4, that means every one person or 4 people you meet might be suffering from a mental health distress, but it might not be seen. Because another thing, people think once they hear mental health distress, they think it's someone that is crazy on the street. No. And that's why the stigma around it. So that's why we're creating this awareness to let people know that many people are walking on the street. You think they are healthy, but they are not. Because somewhere in their mind, they have lost it. And that's why you just see someone that you think is so healthy, the person kills themselves, and you say, why would this person kill? Because the person has been distressed. And because in our system, this support is not there, people cannot easily speak about it. People don't even know where to find help. So all of these things make people to keep quiet. So, but those are the things we do to let people know that it's okay not to be okay. It means you're human.
Okay, so you said something about how that's you seeing someone on the street may not necessarily know that the person is dealing with mental health disorder. Is it possible for someone to not know that he or she is not is dealing with mental health disorder? Is it possible?
Yes,
you don't know that you have.
You don't
issues.
know. Many people, because there's no awareness around this thing. You might be going through something. You just know that I'm not feeling the way I used to feel, but you don't have a name for it. You can't say this is what it is because nobody has told you that this kind of thing exists. So you don't know. So many people are even going through. That's why you see a lot of people are aggressive. They are angry. Before you say one thing, they just flip. But
they say it's the economy.
No, because those are factors. There are different factors that determine where your mental health will be on that spectrum. And one of it is societal factors, environmental factors, economic factors, biological factors. All of this, the same thing that impacts on your physical health, impacts on your mental health. So some people don't know. Just like somebody will be going through maybe like migraine, or you don't know. Some people think, oh, it's too much. Some people think it's just normal headache. But until you go and ask for help, then they tell you, okay, this is what's wrong with you. So a lot of people are walking on the street.
So
they don't know that they're So most times it's about your mood. So a lot of mood change. Then some people, you see them, they just lose interest in what they like. Some people are just sad more. For women, some of these disorders are expressed differently in men and women. So for instance, like depression, you see women, they cry more, they are gloomy and gloomy. For men, if they are depressed, they start to take up very risky behaviors. They are aggressive, they are angry. So once you start feeling different from your norm, you should check. And if it's going more than 2-3 weeks, then you should, okay, if something is wrong. And the same thing we tell people, if you are my friend, or if you're my colleague, or if you're my spouse, and you see that I'm beginning to switch from the regular, you should watch out. It might not necessarily be that it's a full-blown mental health disorder, but something might have gone wrong that needs attention. So those are the things, but mainly there's a switch in your mood.
Okay, but you know the thing is, right, as women, we get this orientation now that, if you have mood issues, you see your time of the month. If you have if you're feeling some type of way, everybody just zeroes it to that time of the month, quote and unquote. How do we then separate, clear dichotomy between, okay, this is not the issue, this is a mental health disorder?
So that's why I said it's expressed differently from both women and men. And the truth is that because of we women, hormones happen. When you're pregnant, hormones will run different for you than for me. If you are seeing your period, it's different. Like me, I don't have mood swing, I don't PMS, but some people will. But the thing is that person needs to understand their body and explain to their partner. That's one. The secondly, if you know,
or even colleagues, because everybody suffers around you.
Just exactly, everybody, because it shows differently.
Take it out, yeah.
Like, okay, I have like the help that stays with me. I think when she joined, she moved to my place December. So I noticed in January, some certain days she just gets mad. She's just angry. If you talk to her, she wants. I noticed in January, I noticed in February. So I've asked her, what's wrong with you? She said nothing. So I think last month, March, I now called her to my room and I sat her down. I said, are you on your period? Because I could not think of any other thing. Because I know that I have not done anything. She now said, and I said, when did you start? She said, yesterday. And I said, have you ever noticed that when you're on your period, you feel certain way? She's 23. She did not know.
Wow. Whoa, wow. 23. And
yeah, and some people can be hearing us and they don't know. They just feel like it. But because some people, like a lot of women don't even keep a calendar. If you keep a calendar, for me now, I have a calendar that I know if my period is coming to 3 days, my body feels different. So if you know as a person, then you're able to communicate it. But if you don't know, how do you communicate? It's not that time of the month. Right. So if you're able to say, okay, the way I'm feeling is not that time of the month, it might just be something is wrong. The another one that is very particular for women is postpartum depression, which people just keep silent about. Because
once you have had your baby, you should go home. I just feel like you're done. You're okay.
And they'll be like, she is just baby. But me, I experienced postpartum depression. So that's why I knew that it's a big deal. A lot of people, you just see them, they've lost themselves. Anyway, please, let's start from the beginning. Somebody may be listening, doesn't even know what postpartum depression is. What does it mean? Because we just took it off. I know what it means, you know what it means, and then we just rolled on. What does it mean? So postpartum depression is that mood swing that happens just immediately or a few weeks after a woman just gives birth. So she starts feeling all of this worthlessness, thinks she wants to kill herself, she's not even interested, or the baby. She's just sad. So some people can take it out as aggressive. Some people will just be crying. They don't want to touch the baby. And this will go on for more than 2 weeks. So there's something called baby blue. Because there's a lot of misconception about postpartum depression and baby blue. So baby blue can just happen a few days and you swing out of it. When it's over 2 weeks, it's going to 3 weeks. The family needs to look out. Because if you are now aggravating it, it's going to get longer for. Like, take it easy now. It's not your child. What is your problem? And this has caused a lot of problem for even families. You see the husband, because he doesn't know what is going on, they start getting angry. So all of these things. So everybody is involved, and everybody needs to be aware that these things exist.
Right. And then there's people who went to school. Obviously, you have gone to school, and then this person who reeled out the numbers have also gone to school. And in our Nigerian society now, a lot of times people tilt towards spiritual definitions for some of these things that happen. So, say for instance, the maid you talked about now, who's 23 and has never really paid attention to what it is like around her cycle. You know that it's very easy for someone. Maybe your mother comes around. Did you just imagine that? Or someone just comes around and be like, you better be careful. This one is acting like she has spiritual problems. How do you separate this spiritual explanation from mental health disorder explanation for everyone, even the individuals involved?
First thing, our society is very spiritual.
Inclined.
Then another thing, in this part of the world, anything you don't have an answer for is spiritual. And like I said, there has been a huge knowledge gap around what mental health is. So it has just come. People will start getting like it's spiritual because they don't have a name for it. So sometimes it's not like they're wrong. It's just because whatever I don't know the name, we take it to God. And another thing is, our society, we incline more, our support system is more in the spiritual space. So you see people, they believe like this is where our belief lies. And one thing to improve your mental health is to have a connection with that supernatural being. But I think we have missed it a little bit around here, because then if you go and you don't know what is wrong with you, you go and tell your pastor this is how you're feeling, they'll tell you to go on dry fasting because he doesn't also know.
No.
So we need to carry this awareness across.
And it's not like he wants to be.
It's not like he wants to be. He also doesn't know. And if you don't know, how do you help someone?
You can only give what you have.
Exactly.
Right?
So that's why it's like that. And I always tell people, because the church is the first, the church, the mosque, our spiritual leaders are our first point of call. We need to make them aware. We need to equip them with the resources to even help. Some things are not, you don't need prayers. You just need someone to guide you to think differently. That's why you will keep praying to look like God is a liar, because you're not giving the right solution to the problem.
Right, you're right. Okay, so let's come back to the conversation you people had the other day, right? What exactly was it about?
Okay, so the press conference was organized by the Nigerian Mental Health Network. So it's a network of different organizations working in the mental health space. So we have a network under the umbrella Nigerian Mental Health. So after the act was signed, thank God, in January by the president, so we now have a mental health act in Nigeria for the first time since since forever. So it just repealed the Lunacy Act that was there since the colonial age. So we got that signed, and after it was signed, we thought, okay, there's a new government coming in. We now have it as a law. What are the next things? What should we expect? What are the things? So we came up with that press conference to share a 10-point agenda on what we want next steps. So we have a transition in government. This is a new act. We don't want it to be like every other act that gets signed and goes.
There's no implementation.
Right? So we want this to happen. We want it to be implemented. So we came up with that 10-point agenda.
Why did that make you laugh?
Mosquito.
Away. Okay, please. Okay, that was very honest.
I'm sorry.
I think today's World Malaria Day.
You know, I was going to say, oh no way.
Oh no.
I know.
Please go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, that was what the press conference was about. So we had a couple of people we invited from different organizations, from the Human Rights Commission. We had people from the Commission for Persons with Disability, the National Primary Health Care Agency. So all of the stakeholders that needs to make this happen, and we presented our 10-point agenda.
Okay, so were you able to drive home your point?
Yes, I think we were, and that's one of the reasons why we're here today too.
Okay.
So just some people might not know that this happened, and some people don't even know that, okay, we have a 10-point agenda. And even if you have a 10-point agenda, what is this 10-point agenda?
What is it?
Okay, so our first ask is that the gazetted copy of this national act should be published to every Nigerian. So you can't find that in any national space. So at least if you are a Nigerian, this is an act, you should have access to it.
Wait.
There's no access.
Wait. Previous acts are not published to every Nigerian. They don't have access to them.
You can go online and maybe you find them. You can see some of them, but this particular one is not there.
So why do you? Okay. So if people want it to be like,
so that everybody knows that this is what we have. And
but is that the government's job? Is that not you people's job?
No, it's the government. It should be on a government platform. Maybe even in Ministry of Health.
People can have a website, right?
We do actually. If anybody wants that, but what we think is easier for everyone to have access. It should be in the public space.
Okay. So how do you want the government to do that? Build a website for you people?
No, not a website.
Okay.
They should publish it on whatever government.
Where?
There's Ministry of Health, there's Ministry of Justice, those kind of government platforms. It should be published. Okay. But already we've published it on the Nigerian Mental Health website. So anyone that wants a copy, just for people to know what is there, what are the asks, what's your rights. What's your mental health right, and you know what to ask for. So it's good for people to know.
And besides websites, I mean, social media is a very strong one these days, right?
So Nigerian Mental Health is one of your stuff. Anybody can go on Instagram. The link to the document is there. You can go to the website. You'll find it there. Most of all, even my own website, my own Instagram page, the link to it is there. You can find it there.
So basically what the information is that know what your mental health
rights are. Exactly.
Okay.
So everybody deserves that.
Okay.
So and our second ask is we raised the campaign. You know, Nigeria currently, the attempted suicide is a criminal act that comes with a 1-year jail time. So we're now advocating and we've come up with a campaign that suicide not crime NG, because the truth is that you cannot ask someone who tried to kill themselves to go to jail.
But is that not a way of dissuading other people from doing the same thing?
No, you can't say you're persuading people to do the same thing.
Dissuading rather.
Because if they have help, because someone that tried to kill themselves is not okay. The person doesn't need punishment.
But do you know that some people may not want to, go, what's the word now? Like really
kill themselves.
Yes, because they are scared that if they don't successfully kill themselves, they go to jail.
That's the problem. That's what we are saying. That's why we are saying it should be decriminalized.
Why?
Because that means you're saying that if I try to kill myself and I didn't get through with it, I should go to jail. No. Someone tries to kill themselves, they are not all right.
Okay.
And you now say, okay, because you tried attempted suicide, if the person killed themselves, the person has died. But that means you tried to kill yourself, you did not die. That means you should go to jail. That means you're worsening the problem.
No, that means I'm telling other people that they should try to not.
But that's a human rights. People, you need to understand what are the underlying factors for trying to kill
yourself first.
That's the problem.
Okay, I see.
It's not and I think we are still like, this is a colonial thing. Even the United Kingdom that gave us this, they have repelled this since 1960 something, and we're still living with that. We should help these people. So we're trying to say, okay,
instead of jail,
because if they go to jail now, you now compare their problem. They come back, they become
worse.
What's it called? Convict. They might not get job. The stigma. So you're worsening the problem of why they want to kill themselves.
All right, that's number 2. Before you go on, I have a message here. Okay. Good evening. Honestly, many Nigerians have serious mental issues. This morning, a young man driving machine was almost killed by some angry youth in my area. His offense was that he almost hit a child who he dashed and did not hit her.
Yeah.
The father of the child held his neck. Wait. The father of the child held his neck caught with an object. Okay, must have caught him. Some people came to the scene without asking questions and started hitting the young man. I was shouting, stop. This is not the best way to handle such issues. Nobody listened to me. Thank God the young man is alive. However, many Nigerians need mental health assistance. Small thing, they are ready to do the worst, not minding the consequences. This is Patrick in New Cairo. Wow.
because people want to they're looking for where to vent.
Wow, this is deep. Just this morning.
So that's what I'm telling you. That imagine you see someone who gets triggered, we're not asking questions, but because everybody is infuriated already, they're looking for somewhere to just release this tension. So any available.
And it may be that he may be dealing with stuff. His attention wasn't even there.
So there's so many reasons. No human being in the right sense will want to try to kill
a child. It's not for spiritual reasons. Unless you want to do jazz.
Even if you want to do jazz, is it like that? It doesn't work like that. Do you understand?
Right.
And that's why you see someone on the hit an Okada guy. The group of Okada people will just form a mob and they start setting. You don't need, most times the Okada people are the ones at fault. But because of we have this mentality of just act, don't ask questions. Then we have so much entitlement that if we take things, it's about us. We people need to understand that life is not about us
you as
all
an
the
individual.
time. It was not particular to you. It was just something that just happened.
Yeah, maybe somebody was just at the wrong place at the wrong time,
exactly.
or maybe had just gotten an information that just
anything could have happened, but nobody's even ready to question why. And that's one thing that we need to even improve as a society. We need to learn to question why things happen. We don't just jump into conclusion like we have it all figured out.
Nice. All right, number 3.
Okay, so before I leave,
at least we may not. Some people, I don't want to say we now, because I follow you. I think I'm not sure now, but I definitely check it out. I'll check the link and know what this 10-point agenda is. But I also need people who are listening right now who may not be able to immediately check out these points to understand what these things are. So you said 2 already.
Yes.
We need to get the government to publicize
the copy of the act.
Right. Okay. And then number 2 is
suicide, not crime. And this before I leave there, I want to tell everyone that we have a petition. You can just go and type it. Yes, so anybody can sign. We want more people to sign so that this becomes repair, because in our penal code it's a crime, so we're trying to ask the government to decriminalize it. So the more petitions we have, the better. So anyone that wants to sign,
and your argument is really strong that it should be decriminalized.
Yes.
And you think that your argument holds sway?
Yes,
because some people still think that it should be a criminal offense.
I think even in Africa, maybe we are just 6 countries, if I'm not wrong, that still has that kind of. Almost all countries in the world have repelled this because they know that there are underlying factors why someone wants to
and
kill
those are the issues that should be treated.
Yes.
Okay. All right, go on.
So the third one is that we're asking that the new administration should prioritize mental health. So one of the things in the act is that there should be a department for mental health in the Ministry of Health, which already has started. So we already have a program in the Ministry of Health. So we want the new government to prioritize in terms of implementation, in terms of funding and all of that. So that's the third ask. The fourth one is we want them to increase the mental health budget. So the budget on health that goes to mental health is very little, and it goes to the tertiary clinic, the psychiatrics and all of that, but they need to increase that budget so that it can come down.
You're asking for increase. Maybe you know that we're borrowing money to fund this our existing budget.
If it's prioritizing, if they prioritize this thing, because the truth is that 90% of Nigerians, the problem of our mental health is being caused by very poor social welfare. If they don't want to spend on this, they should improve our social welfare. Let everybody have a good standard of living. Probably we won't have too many cases.
Are you sure? Because even countries where the standard of living is reasonably fair, like really good, in fact, we still have people doing stuff.
That's what I'm saying. That
in fact,
different
I think
factors,
we even have more psycho people in these
different
countries.
Factors determine mental health. Some people, when they are even too comfortable, is a problem.
Right.
But everything is a mindset. It's a mindset thing. But even giving away, like, okay, you see someone that try to kill themselves, and you ask, why are you trying to kill yourself? You say, I haven't had food to eat, I don't have a job. And
this is life. Do
you understand? This is basic necessity. Not somebody that will come and think that the girlfriend broke their heart. That one, you know that, okay, the person doesn't know how to deal with trauma. So there are two different reasons. So this person needs basic life skill. Person tries to kill themselves. Another person got a heartbreak and tried to kill themselves because of different reasons. So that's why we need to ask why.
Okay.
So another ask is that the budget, that's what I said, the fourth. The fifth one is nothing about us without us. So you see a lot of people have gone through mental health problems, lived experience. But they now make all of these laws. They start to implement. While you're doing it, they need to bring people that have gone through this, people that are actors in the field. They need to come on the table and decide how the implementation of the act will happen. And that also leads to the next one, that we should include diverse actors. So in the past, you only hear about psychiatrists, psychologists. They forget that there are other people that are actors.
Please tell us about them. Who are they? Because once you are not feeling fine mentally, it's like,
So there are psychiatrists and psychologists. They are the clinical ones. Like, most of them are going to prescribe these drugs. They've gone to school to do that. But they have other allied mental health support people, like the social workers. We have the psychiatric nurses. You have advocates like me that I have gone through different certifications to get aware. I might not be able to prescribe, but I am also aware. You have other people that are in the field that have lived experience, that have survived certain things they need. So these are diverse actors. You cannot just say, okay, it's about the psychologists, and that's why we have problem, because we don't even have them. The little ones we have all migrated abroad. So they need to, enough. So we need to include all actors in the space, even NGOs. We have, like, in our network, we have over 40 organizations across Nigeria that works in the mental health space. But because everyone has been working in little pockets and silos, it seems as that's one of the reasons why the mental health network, Nigeria Mental Health Network, came up. So the seventh ask, which is very, very dear to me, is to mainstream psychosocial support.
Okay, break it down.
That means we want it to be in the spaces, like everybody should have access. So you are mentioning, it's not just going to for you to get a psychiatrist, you have to go to the secondary or the tertiary facilities.
Who are these? You need to be talking to me like I don't know anything. Who are these secondary, tertiary, primary?
Okay, secondary facilities are from the general hospitals. Then tertiary are the teaching hospitals. So that's where you find most of these people. You don't find them in the rural area. So for them to mainstream, so that people have access. That's why you hear that one psychiatrist to 100,000,
which is the case in the medical field anyway, because we're hearing doctors,
everybody's migrating, but even medical doctors, we still have more of them than psychologists and psychiatrists. So all of that, wanted to mention
actually them. Matter of fact, we don't hear about these people often. We don't. I mean, the psychologists,
because
and the
they're all in the psychiatric hospitals. You don't find them even, I think, in Abuja. I'm not certain, but I know that either 2 or 3 general hospitals you can go there and see a clinical psychologist.
2 or 3 in the federal.
If I'm not wrong, yes. If I'm not wrong,
that's the situation.
So you understand? So they're not even there. So we need to. So meanwhile there are other therapists. Like me, I'm a cognitive behavioral therapist. But some people don't even know that we exist. So there are other people.
In fact, I say again, cognitive
behavioral therapist.
Who are you? What does that mean?
So our own kind of therapy is to help you change your mind, the way your belief, the way you think, and that's what most of this thing. That's where all of this thing comes.
See. Look, really, people really.
We have talk therapists. We have all these things exist, but because nobody is asking, or people are not aware that they are there. So all of these things we need it to be mainstream.
This thing you're saying now, I just remembered one child that they flogged the life out of, because they said that the child has spiritual problem, and apparently now that I look at it in hindsight, it obviously was some mental health issues that were not well
sorted. Because even children, we have a lot of children, child-related mental, and most of the mental health.
And it's not one day flog. No, they take you, they repeatedly flog you every time, and they like
ADHD. If you say a typical child with ADHD, that's advanced aggressive, something ADHD for children. You see them, they're hyper, they're different, and everybody will start running away from them.
Right.
Like I have one that stays in my estate. When I first met, I understood what was going on, so I had to go meet the mom. That I understand it's for everybody in the estate. They don't want to see him, but because most of them don't even know
an estate. So I want to believe that these are not poor, broke people. So it's not some village.
Exactly.
So apparently they know, but they just don't know that part of knowledge.
So the knowledge gap is huge. That's why we can't talk about it enough. It's very huge.
All right.
So we don't want to keep them, right? The 8th one is we need to define clear metrics for Mental Health Act. So we have the act now. How do we measure success? What are the data? What are the indicators that we use to measure that? Okay, this is working. This is what. So we want it to be out because it's a new thing. It's practically new for us.
So we have another message here.
Okay.
Good evening. Thank you for talking so elaborately. I think this is elaborately. Okay. Thank you for speaking so elaborately. My own is that sometimes I'm not interested in anybody. I don't even want to take calls from anyone. But I don't feel sick. Do I have mental health disorder? All right, buy me.
So you don't want to take calls from anybody. You're losing interest. So you don't have sick doesn't necessarily mean that you have fever or your body is aching. If you lose interest in what you used to do before.
I didn't even call out the numbers, so sorry. We have like 2 minutes. These are people who had our numbers before texting. Please, you can send in your WhatsApp message 0818 22 22 205. Yes, you can send in a WhatsApp message and DT would answer your question. 0818 22 22 205. Okay, please tell me about the shutouts.
So you can.
I actually have someone like this, and this is him. He just tells you
just
for like a week. I don't call me, don't text me. I don't want to hear from you.
You cannot just wake up one day.
Why not? I feel it's normal.
No, that's what I said. If it's 1 week, it's fine.
Okay.
Sometimes you just want to detox. Sometimes I just want to be mindful and just stay away from all the craziness of life. You want to sleep. You just don't want to talk to anybody. It's okay. But when it starts going from beyond 2 weeks and above.
But some people have this. I don't know how I can't remember the name.
Mood swing.
No, not mood swing. This thing against they don't like their phones to ring. They call it phone something. Phone. I can't remember what now. If they don't like, for me, for instance, I don't like when my phone rings. Personally, I don't like it. Whatever you want to say to me, please send me a message. When my phone rings, I feel a certain type of what is it?
Because even there's a study that has proven that the more your phone rings, the more your heart rate.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not weird.
No.
Okay, great. Great.
No.
Okay.
It's not. So even me, most times my phone is on vibration.
I don't want to see missed calls. Just
but you see, we are different. Me, I don't like you texting me. I prefer to call.
Oh.
If you want to talk, let's talk about it and forget about it. So you see the individual differences.
Right.
And that's why you need to have a ground of yourself. What's your strength? What's your weakness? Be aware of yourself. If I'm going to leave other people, I don't want to talk to anybody. Is it because of what I want to do or something has happened? A lot of people don't even have a grasp of who they are. True. What are their likes? What are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? So all of these things combine together to cause a mental health problem.
All right. Okay, so let's begin to round off now. Okay. It's raining 9 I think just 10, right?
Yes, so the remaining 2, I'll just run it together. So the ninth one is that we want mental health services to be included in primary health care so that the common man can get...
That's the one you just talked about, right?
It's related. Yes, but this one in the primary health care. So it's not just in the tertiary or the secondary facility so that the common man can have access. But that one is still under debate because we already have a shortage of human resource
personnel.
So
yes.
These are the asks, and the last one was that we need to domesticate the Mental Health Act. So just the same thing, just a conclusion of everything. Let us know that this is our thing, and let us start working on it.
So tell me something. Tell me as a way of round off. Just tell me something.
Everybody has a mental health, and you are entitled to take care of your mental health as much as you take care of your physical health. So if you think you feel different from your normal self, it's okay.
Let me ask you a funny question. Okay, sorry, are you done?
Ask for help.
Okay, great. Let me ask you a question. So people who say things like, "See, I'm not all right, but just give me money, I'm fine." Do you think money can really solve the problem?
No. That's where it comes to inward satisfaction and motivation. That's why you see that you say, I want to get a car. You get a car, you still feel empty. They give you that money. You now brings another worry. How do I spend this money? Will it be enough for what I want? So first thing is be happy from within. Don't attach your happiness to anything material because it's going to fade off and you start feeling empty again. So please, guys.
So a lot of people, this is even cruise on social media. What's your life ambition? Money. What do you want now?
Because you are very materialistic people.
Just give me money. All I see is because of the economy. That's why I'm not feeling fine.
Everybody's hiding on that.
Right.
But the truth is that if you give them money, they'll still feel empty.
Right.
But you have to feel satisfied and gratitude from within, and that joy and happiness should come from within, not attached to anything. But all of these things, good life, trust me, they will help But if you believe that that's the only thing that makes you happy, you find out that you get all of these things. That's why you see a rich man will commit suicide.
Right.
And so they have money.
And it happens.
So
it does happen.
Just be happy from within.
Thank you very much, Didi. It has been a very interesting conversation with you tonight. I hope to have you here another time.
Please, anytime. Once it's about mental health, don't worry. It's my heartbeat.
Great. All right, people. So this is it today on Super Citizen at Sunset. It was an interesting show from 5 until now. Packing my bags out of the studio. Lejado Sisters or Relele Jigbo. I think I played this song earlier, but I like it a lot. So here we go again. Have yourselves a great evening.
Get out, fight, trouble in the streets. Watch out, right, Jamba is on the way. Get out, fight, trouble in the streets. Watch out, right, Jamba is out to stay.